I feel like I need someone to come to my house and teach me how to do my hair, because I literally styled it. Well, I tried to style it and I feel like my hair just never looks good, you guys. Like, not even in like a pick-me-girl way. Like, I just feel like my hair, it never looks really good. Even if I spend like 1 hour trying to style it, like my hair just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Makeup, on the other hand, I know how to do it, so it's okay, but hair, never. Anyways, hi guys. So today I am going to be filming a video on intoxicating fragrances that leave that beautiful scent trail behind you. Now, this is a category of fragrances that I know what I am talking about, so I have probably my absolute favorites here, and the ones that I notice get me a lot of attention when I wear them. So these are attention-grabbing fragrances, intoxicating scents that leave that beautiful trail behind you. So let's go ahead and get into it. First fragrance that we have is DUCHESSA from Gritty. Now, you guys know, if you follow me, that I have been raving about this scent for a very long time and kind of saying that it's the best cherry fragrance, because for me, I really think that this is honestly one of the best cherry fragrances because of its longevity and projection. I don't know about you guys, but I have found that cherry fragrances, I don't know if it's my skin or it's me, but cherry fragrances, the cherry note seems to dissipate super quickly on my skin, and then you're kind of left with like an almondy sweetness most of the time. But DUCHESSA, on the other hand, the cherry is there throughout the entire wear, but it's blended with more intense notes so that the fragrance just feels more dark, more mysterious, and very sexy. And honestly, you guys, every single time that I wear this one, I get a compliment. It almost has something a little bit like 1% Baccarat Rouge about it. I don't know if it's like a saffron note or something. I will put the notes on the screen, of course, but there is something just a minuscule bit like Baccarat Rouge, but again, I don't mean that it's a dupe, not at all. This is a completely different scent to Baccarat. So in DUCHESSA, you obviously have the cherry note with that kind of almondy facet. You do have like a kind of smokiness. I think there is saffron in here. You have a bit of patchouli, some woods in the base. It's very dark and mysterious and alluring and sexy. And you guys, I haven't worn it for a very long time. I am actually going out tonight. By the time that you're watching this, the night would have passed, but I am going out tonight and maybe I will wear DUCHESSA because it's just such an alluring fragrance to wear at night especially. So I really recommend this one. You're gonna get complimented. It's gonna last on your skin for around 8 hours or so with a really good projection. This one has a fantastic projection and the longevity is equally as incredible. I really recommend checking this one out if you wanted a very intense, very mysterious cherry scent. Go for DUCHESSA from Gritty. Next up, we have BDK's new release. This is Pas Ce Soir EXTRAIT. Now, you guys, you know how much I love Pas Ce Soir in general. Now, what they did with the EXTRAIT, in my opinion, is really just amplify the already very popular Pas Ce Soir DNA. They didn't really change it very much at all. Although I will say there is a lot more of a heavy dose of patchouli in Pas Ce Soir EXTRAIT. So make sure, if you're kind of on the edge about patchouli, that you will definitely need to test this one first before going ahead and buying it, because there is a more prominent note of patchouli in the EXTRAIT over the original. And also, I feel like underneath, somewhere in there, there is a tiny dusting of cacao, which makes the scent just a little bit more dimensional, and I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh, you guys. Like, Pas Ce Soir, the DNA, the OG, and the EXTRAIT, it's such an addictive scent. Like, there is something really just captivating and addictive about it. Like, I wear Pas Ce Soir when I want to be noticed and when I want attention. Like, that is when I'm gonna go ahead and pull for this fragrance. It's not when I want to feel really classy, really elegant, really feminine or rich or whatever. It's when I want attention and when I want to be noticed, I am gonna wear Pas Ce Soir. Now, the reason that I'm recommending the EXTRAIT over the original is because for me, on my skin, the EXTRAIT definitely lasts a lot longer. I get around 7 to 8 hours of really good wear with the Extrait with a nice projection. I will have to say, I feel like the OG projects a little more but doesn't last as long, and the Extrait lasts longer but doesn't project as much. So I don't know, you guys have to test them yourself. That's how I feel, but with that being said, it still does project, so people can definitely smell you around you. I just think that the original, it has more of a traveling factor about it. So I love the scent. I think it is absolutely incredible. And if you guys were wondering which one I prefer, after wearing both of them so many times, I do actually prefer the Extrait. I feel like it has something a little more sexy about it, and I love the fact that it lasts a lot longer on my skin. So that's why I would go ahead and recommend the Extrait. You guys should definitely check it out, especially if you're already a fan of Pas Ce Soir. You should get a sample of the Extrait, compare them, and see if you need it in your life, because for me, I am so happy that I have it. Okay guys, so next up we have La Capitale from Zurich. Look at my bottle, you guys. The proof is in the pudding right now. The proof is in the pudding. I have worn my whole bottle of La Capitale. Like, I finished the bottle. I just saved a tiny bit at the end in case one day I'm like, I absolutely have to wear La Capitale, and then at least I have it. But La Capitale, you guys, I remember I turned my nose up at this scent and I feel really bad about it now, but when I first smelled it, I just didn't think it was groundbreaking and as impressive as some other fragrances from Zurich. But guys, the thing that put me over the edge with this fragrance is how people react when I wear it. Like, you can see, again, the proof is here. People, every single time I would wear La Capitale, would comment about it. People would go insane when I would wear La Capitale. Every single time I would wear it, I would get somebody asking me what I was wearing. And actually it's funny because whenever I wear the scent, I do feel like it's very strong, but I didn't realize how strong it is and how much it projects and leaves a trail behind me. But apparently it does. And you can see, like I said, I've worn it so much, so I have a lot of experience with the scent. And it just works. Something about the DNA is very appealing to people. What you have with La Capitale is a very sweet, fruity, slightly leathery scent. Now, don't worry if you're not a big fan of leather, because honestly, I'm not really the biggest fan of leather. I tend to steer away from scents that smell like a car or a new handbag or something. It's not my thing. But La Capitale, you more get that very intense, sweet, fruity factor in the fragrance, laying on a base of leather. Like the combination of fruits with caramel, with leather, it just works. And honestly, I have never had so many people ask me what I'm wearing when I'm wearing La Capitale. So I really recommend it. It's very strong on my skin. It lasts around 8 hours, like 8 hours going strong with a really big projection. So I definitely recommend it. I love the fragrance. And what is so funny is that I have a lot of other favorites from Zurich that I would probably put above La Capitale. But because of how many compliments I get, I need this fragrance in my life forever. So I will be getting another bottle. It is an incredible fragrance, you guys. Next up, we have Camelia K from Ella K. Now, this fragrance, in my opinion, smells very, very similar to Givenchy L'Interdit Rouge, which if you guys follow me, you know that I absolutely rave and love that scent so much. It's definitely one of my favorite designer lines from a designer. I think it's just very sexy, very alluring. The sweet kind of bubblegummy spiced tuberose fragrance is right up my alley. Camelia K to me is a little bit of a mix between L'Interdit Rouge and Baccarat Rouge. It's just so intoxicating, you guys, like truly, truly intoxicating. And on the skin, like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. The reason that I wanted to put it in this list is because the fragrance leaves the most beautiful trail behind you and people are gonna comment on it. It has that really addictive bubblegummy sweetness mixed with those very sexy and feminine florals, and it's overall just an incredible scent that I would recommend to you guys. So check out Ella K Camelia K. It's definitely my favorite from the brand. I think that it's just a beautiful fragrance. Next up we have MINUIT, which is my fragrance in collaboration with Fragrance du Bois. And the reason that I'm putting this fragrance in here is because MINUIT Demi really leaves this incredible intoxicating trail behind you when you're wearing it. Now, there is a few people in my life that wear MINUIT Demi almost exclusively, and every time they wear it, I know. Let's say I'm with that person and we get in the car is immediately filled with the scent of MINUIT Demi, or they walk in front of me and I am, let's say, 20 meters behind, I can smell MINUIT Demi in the air. It is a gorgeous blend of spices with some coffee, caramel, vanilla, and the base has a little bit of soft woods, some tobacco, a little bit of a boozy touch. It is truly incredible. I would say if you like fragrances like Gris Charnel from BDK, you should definitely check out my fragrance MINUIT Demi, and especially with the cooler weather coming up. If this was on your wish list, I don't know, try to maybe find a discount online and purchase it. You need it in your life, especially for the fall and winter. I just love the scent, and the reason that I'm including it is because it really does leave this gorgeous scent trail behind you. And it also stays on your clothes, your hair, your everything for days after wearing it. So MINUIT Demi from Fragrance Savour and myself, definitely a scent that leaves a gorgeous scent trail behind you. So next up we have Maison Crivelli Hibiscus MAHAJÁD. Now this fragrance does remind me of Delina Exclusive mixed with something else. Like, there definitely is the essence of Delina Exclusive in this fragrance. Like, you have that kind of very tart, sweet, very intense rose scent. And it's really, really good, you guys. Now, this is a fragrance that when I first smelled it, I'm not gonna lie, I was not the biggest fan of it when I first smelled it, because it did really remind me of Delina Exclusive and some other fragrances that I have in my collection. But I'm telling you guys, when I started to wear it, the reactions that I got from people wearing Hibiscus MAHAJÁD was insane. Like, absolutely insane. People love this fragrance on me, and I can see why. Now, another thing that I do want to say about it is that it's very, very strong. Like, sometimes a fragrance can be strong, like Baccarat Rouge 540, but you don't really feel like it's strong on yourself. Like, you're kind of smelling yourself like, is my scent still there? Hibiscus MAHAJÁD, no. You're smelling yourself all night long, all day long. Whenever you're wearing it, you're gonna smell this fragrance on you for hours and hours and hours. So make sure that you like the scent, because it's gonna stay with you for a very long time. For me, I get around 8 hours of really good wear, with a really good projection as well. It probably projects within just a bit further than your arm's length, so people can definitely smell you. And like I said, for me, this is a big compliment getting fragrance. Very, very sweet, very tart, woody in the base. You have those florals. It does really remind me of Delina Exclusive, but with something a little bit more tart. So definitely recommend checking this one out if you want a very intense fragrance. Hibiscus MAHAJÁD. So next up, I do have another Xerjoff. Usually I hate to put two fragrances from one brand in the same video because I just don't like doing that, but I had to put in Torino 22 because it is the epitome of this topic of leaving an intoxicating trail, addictive, something that people are going to chase you down the street wearing. Torino 22 is going to do that. Now, I have been talking a lot about this scent recently, and it's because I really feel like it flies quite under the radar from Xerjoff. Like, personally, I don't hear anybody speaking about it, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. Now, this does have something a little bit Baccarat Rouge-y, but not too much. I have probably realistically about 10 fragrances in my collection that smell almost identical to Baccarat Rouge 540. But Torino 22, although it has a slight essence, it definitely is different enough to warrant owning both scents. So that is why I'm putting it in here, because it is freaking incredible and so addictive on the skin. Now, I had to wear this fragrance a few times before kind of understanding it, but my gosh, is it addictive on the skin. You have something kind of green and fresh and slightly not herbal, but a little bit aromatic. There is a beautiful eucalyptus note in here, along with I think some sage and a few other green notes. And then you have the saffron, and you have this very addictive, airy sweetness going on in the scent, and it's just spectacular, you guys. Like really, really addictive on the skin. This one is going to last on your skin around 7 to 8 hours with a big projection. Like this one is going to trail behind you and maybe get you chased down the street, because it just has something very captivating within the fragrance. So Torino 22 from Xerjoff, I absolutely love this one. I totally recommend it. So the next fragrance that leaves a super intoxicating trail is Santal Austral from Matière Première. I have not worn this scent in a minute. Like it has been maybe around 1 year since I wore this fragrance, and I don't know why. I need to start wearing it again, because this is truly the definition of intoxicating. Santal Austral is a very sweet sandalwood scent. This is not so much a milky, smooth sandalwood fragrance, although it definitely still has a creaminess going on. It's very intense and sweet. Santal Austral is sandalwood, it's iris, it's almond, it's benzoin, it's tonka, I think. It is just so addictive, you guys, on the skin, and this is a scent that it's going to stay with you for days and days and days. I remember, I think it was 2 summers ago, I brought it on vacation and I was wearing it a lot, especially for nights out, and I would spray it all over my clothes. And for days after, if I didn't wash those clothes, I could smell Santal Austral literally everywhere in Pierre's bedroom. Like it was everywhere. And at some point I was like getting sick of it, because it lasts for such a long time on your skin and it leaves a huge projection behind you. This is the sort of scent that's going to fill a room. It's very sweet, it's very woody, it's creamy. It's absolutely intoxicating, you guys. I really recommend checking this one out. If you like the sound of it, a very sweet sandalwood scent with some iris and almond, you're absolutely gonna love Santal Austral. It is fantastic, and the longevity and projection is beast mode. The next fragrance that I have is Nocturna from Royal Crown. This one is, again, another one that is the definition of intoxicating. Nocturna is a very interesting scent. Like, I cannot fully understand what is going on in here, because myself, I kind of pick up a slight leathery touch from here, but I don't know where the leathery note is coming from. There is a melon note in here, which you definitely feel throughout the entire fragrance. There is some peony, lychee, peach, some other florals, there is some vanilla. It is like a fruity floral, but for me, there is a very prominent essence of something leathery. It is definitely, if you're wondering, less sweet than La Capitale, even though you could kind of consider these scents going in a similar direction. Royal Crown Nocturna is much less sweet, and it has something a little bit like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of the Middle East and scents that I've smelled a lot in the Middle East, but it's very, very addictive. There is something extremely addictive about the fragrance. And I remember I was smelling it a few weeks ago and I had like this epiphany that it kind of reminded me a tiny bit of God of Fire. I know that that's really strange because there's no notes in common, but there was something that reminded me of God of Fire from Stefan Amberluca. And now that I'm smelling it, and I'm thinking of God of Fire, there is something about Nocturna that does remind me of God of Fire, and I absolutely love the scent. I find it to be really addictive, really sexy, and whenever I wear it, somebody will comment. On my skin, I get around 7 or so hours of really good wear with a beautiful projection. Like, this one is definitely going to travel. It has something quite airy about it. It doesn't feel very thick and very dense like something like Hibiscus Mahajad. That one feels really dense when you wear it. Nocturna, it's more airy. It has the addictiveness, but it all feels a little more airy, and I just absolutely love it. Really recommend this one. If you like the sound of the notes, you should totally check it out. It smells super addictive, very alluring, and very sexy. And if you wanted to know, this is a fantastic combo. Passesoir with Nocturna. You're gonna knock them over with that combo. Next up, we have Oud Nude from Guerlain. I I'm obsessed with this scent at the moment. I am totally in love. Not that I wasn't in love when I first got it, but this is like fragrance reviewer problems right now. But sometimes if I get a lot of products all at once, whether I bought them, some of them I was sent, whatever, I feel like I fall in love with the product and then I kind of put it into my collection and then forget that it exists for a little bit of time, and then I will rediscover it. So Oud Nude, that is kind of what happened with me. I fell in love with it at first and then kind of put it in my collection, and then I just rediscovered that I'm absolutely obsessed with this one. Oud Nude, you guys. This is a gorgeous, very airy, very sweet, creamy oud scent, but all very light and quite transparent. So you're never gonna feel too suffocated with this scent because it has an airy quality about it for being an oud fragrance. Now, you do feel the oud, but it's much more of a clean oud. It's much more of like a soft oud note in here. It doesn't smell super animalic or potent or super woody. It's just more of like a clean kind of transparent oud vibe going on in here, mixed with a lot of almond, a lot of sandalwood, a lot of vanilla. So it has a beautiful kind of sweet cocooning scent. Oh, and there is definitely a prominent raspberry note in here, which you feel a lot when you first spray it on your skin. You're really gonna get hit with that kind of fruity essence mixed with vanilla, sandalwood, tonka, and the oud, it always kind of stays at the base of the scent, which is what I love about it. This is a very wearable oud scent that you can kind of get away with in all seasons, depending on where you live. So I absolutely love the fragrance. It leaves a beautiful trail behind you. For me, Oud Nude lasts around 7 hours on my skin, like 6-7 hours, but it leaves a beautiful trail behind you. So I definitely recommend checking this one out from Guerlain, especially for the upcoming fall and winter. It's very sexy and very addictive on the skin. Oud Nude from Guerlain. And finally, we have LAMAR from CAPITALE. You guys, this scent is so addictive on the skin. Wow. LAMAR, if you don't know, is a very, very sexy, fruity rose scent. But I do have to say, it stays quite fresh while you're wearing it. Like, it doesn't ever feel too sweet, too heavy. It does stay quite fresh and kind of punchy. Like, the word that I use when I smell this scent is punchy. There is something that kind of just jumps out and grabs your attention. I think there is some citruses in the top, of course. There is a fruitiness going on overall in the scent. Either something like pineapple or passion fruit. Like, I definitely get this very kind of sour fruitiness mixed with the rose and a lot of sweetness, and it's just gorgeous, you guys. Like, this one on the skin is absolutely incredible. Again, this is a fragrance that is going to leave a beautiful trail behind you. LAMAR lasts around 8 hours on my skin, like I said, with a beautiful scent trail behind you. So I am obsessed with this fragrance. I think it is so good. This is also the type of fragrance that I feel like you can wear almost all year round. Maybe some people will find it to be a little bit intense in the summertime, but for me, I feel like I can wear this scent all year round and it doesn't disturb me. And also, I wanted to tell you guys, again, Pas Ce Soir and LAMAR, wow. And it kind of rhymes, Pas Ce Soir, LAMAR, Pas Ce Soir and LAMAR. That is it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video talking about addictive fragrances that leave a beautiful scent trail behind you. So yeah, that is it. And I also wanted to say, guys, I have tried to put some links down below. If there is any products that you're interested in from the video, I have put some links down below and they are affiliate links. Actually, we have started making affiliate links through Sniff. So if you guys wanted to support Pierre and myself with Sniff and our business, I would really appreciate if you shopped from my links. If not, I totally understand and I don't want to put pressure on you guys, but I have put the links down below, and if you want to shop from them and if you purchase something, Sniff will make a commission, which is really helpful for us. So I just wanted to mention that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.